In this video, we'll look at how to solve a system of linear equations graphically. Now that sounds like a really fancy task, but all it's saying is basically if you have two equations, let's do an example, or let's look at an example. We have two equations, y equals 2x plus 5, for example, and another one, half x plus 8. All right, and so basically if I ask you to solve this, that means there is one x value that's the same that will work for both equations, as well as one y value that will work for both equations. Now, if you think about it, if we're looking at this graphically, and you have two lines, let's say this is your 2x plus 5 line, and let's say this is your other line right here. Lovely lines. They're a little curvy. They shouldn't be. All right. So let's say those are the two lines. The only place where the x and y can actually be the same for both lines is where they meet. So this is important here to write down in your notes. The intersection point where the lines meet will tell us what our solution is. All right, so now it's time to actually do this question and not just draw little curvy lines on a sheet of paper. All right, let's go. Okay, so you'll notice that our lines are both in y-intercept form. And so that makes it easy, slope-intercept form, sorry. That makes it easy to graph the lines. But if they were not in slope-intercept form, you could still graph the lines. You know how to do that. All right, so we're going to graph both lines and we're going to see exactly where they meet. All right, so let's start off with the first line here, and we'll do that one in red. So our y-intercept is 5, so we can start there because we know that point. And our slope is 2 over 1. So for every 2 it rises, it runs 1, because that is our slope. Again, we can get another point over, up 2 and over 1, or slope of 2. We can go back if we want to. And now we have enough definitely to make a line. So let's try to make that as solid, a good line as possible. Not bad. Okay. All right. So the next line in blue will have an intercept of 8. So we'll start off at 8. And the rise over run is 1 over 2. So it goes up 1 and over 2. So up 1 and over 2. And looks like we found where our lines should meet. Let's do that once more just so we actually get this looking like a line. Up 1 over 2. And the lines meet here. And so our solutions are 2 on the x and 9 on the y. So for the solution of our system of equations, it's x equals 2, y equals 9. And of course, you know, it's always an amazing idea to check your answers. So we're going to check to make sure this is in fact true. So let's just put that this is a check. All right, we get that y from the first and red equation. We get that y equals 2x plus 5. And so 9 equals 2 times 2 plus 5, which is true. Awesome. And for our blue line, we have that y equals a half x plus 8, which means that 9 equals a half times 2 plus 8, which also is true. And this is definitely the correct solution. Okay, so here's another. And I must admit to you before we start that there is a trick in here. This is a trick question. All right, so what did we say about solutions of a system of equations? So yes, as you must recall, because we just said it a couple minutes ago, the solution is given by the intersection. All right, so before we go ahead and jump into drawing this line, I want you to really take a look at our equations. What do you notice that's similar about both equations? Similar with both equations. If you said you notice that there is a 3 here and a 3 here, then good job. All right, and what does the 3 represent in each case? Okay, if you said that the 3 represents slope, because it's the m in our y equals mx plus b, then you are on a roll. That's also correct. So both lines have a slope of 3, which tells us that, what do we now know about our lines? If you said that lines with the same slope are parallel, you are correct. I don't know what I'm writing here, but let's try this again. So lines with equal slope. Oh, can I erase this? All right, let's just cross it off. So lines with equal slope are parallel. All right, and what do you know about parallel lines? Last question. If you said that they never meet, you are correct. Which means that these two lines will never meet, which means that, finally, they have no solution. So this system of equations have no solutions.